Well, I guess the tire test went well. Welcome back, Sebastian here. So, big breaking news last night, at least last night in my time zone. Of course, Daniel Ricciardo will be replacing Nyck de Vries at Tauri F1 team from the Hungarian Grand Prix in a week and a bit's time. So I think, just giving my own thoughts and opinion on this, I think it's definitely not that expected that de Vries was replaced. I think given his performance in the recent races and given some of the comments from Red Bull and Helmut Marko, I think there was an increasing possibility that he was going to be replaced at AlphaTauri mid-season. That being said, I think the fact that it was Daniel Ricciardo seemed to be contingent on this tire test today that was at Silverstone. And also I think I think there were some other candidates for the seat, such as Liam Lawson, for example, but he's currently busy doing Super Formula, so they probably didn't want to take him out of his full-time commitment. The surprising thing for me, though, is the fact that they decided to replace him now and not during the summer break. We've seen in the past Red Bull have swapped drivers during the summer break, notably Gasly and Albon in 2019, and usually teams do this because there's a lot more time. You have a full four weeks usually between races, so the driver has a lot more time to prepare for that new team, for that new seat, and time to just get embedded in the team. But that being said, Ricciardo is going to a team that he spent a lot of time, the first part of his career with. He did spend 2 years there in 2012 and 2013, so he does know the team, and I think it'll be exciting. And I think, the other impetus for putting Ricciardo in the seat is that it gives Yuki someone to benchmark against. We kind of saw that Yuki had a pretty rough first season. He improved quite a bit the second season, and then he got a new teammate in Nyck de Vries, and he's looked very good against de Vries. So it's hard to tell if this is a case of Yuki continuing to improve, or if de Vries has just massively underperformed the expectations that were set out for him. And I think Ricciardo will give Tsunoda a really good benchmark for the rest of the season, even if he is new to the team. And I think the reason why Red Bull wants to do this is that they, I think, are looking at Perez's performances, especially in qualifying. And they know that next year nothing's a guarantee, especially with the cost cap penalty. So they are probably looking at saying, okay, how can we make sure that we have the best driver possible for 2024 so that if things are very close in the Constructors' Championship, how can we make sure that we have the best chance possible to win that Constructors' Championship? And I do think that's something that Red Bull is thinking about. I don't think you can ever rest on your laurels too much and guarantee that just because we're performing great this year means that we're going to be performing great next year. And I do think that there is a possibility that it could be a three-way shootout between, Tsunoda, Ricciardo, and Perez for that second Red Bull seat. I know F1 contracts, Perez does have an F1 contract, but, there's a saying in F1 where the contracts are worth less than the paper they're written on. And we've seen that time and time again in F1, whether it be with Perez's initial contract with Racing Point, Ricciardo's effectively buyout clause this past season. Even de Vries technically had a 2-year contract at AlphaTauri, and of course, now he's not an F1 driver, right? So that being said, contracts in F1 generally are a lot less ironclad than some other sports, but that's just the way it is. So that being said, I'm really looking forward to see how Ricciardo does. I think Tsunoda will probably have the edge on him initially just because he has spent half a season in that car and he's spent 2.5 years at the team now. But that being said, I think if Ricciardo is anything like the Red Bull Ricciardo mold or even the Renault Ricciardo, I do think that he should be able to get up to speed very quickly. And I think that being said, it's a great chance for him. It's a second lease of life in F1, and I'm sure he's going to be really happy to embrace it with open arms. So that's kind of all for this video. I think I'm going to do another video maybe tomorrow. I'll probably make it today and post it tomorrow, maybe we'll do it later today. Looking at de Vries in a bit more in depth about what went wrong with him in F1, and maybe take a look at his junior career as well. So if you want to check that out, please like and subscribe, and of course hit that notification bell, and that way you can be able to see everything that I post right when it's posted. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.